Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Geek Room Toy Time. I Anybody on for a mic check? I think I'm good. I can see the little green light popping. Uh, Geek Room Toy Time. I'm your host, Justin, also known as TK Storm. I do this show once a week to talk about trying to find the best toy possible. Modern toy. My opinion, the best vintage toy sits right up there. Cobra Terradrome. To date, the best modern toy, I feel, is the Roboskull Mark II by Skeletron. A couple years old at this point, but I've yet to find anything to knock it off its throne. It's sitting over here on a shelf over here that you guys can't see on camera. Apologies for that. Maybe I have to move some stuff around so that the best vintage and the best modern are a little closer together. Just recently back from Joe Fest. We will meet Friday night. We have an episode of the Geek Room podcast with the group where we'll talk about the kind of recapping Joe Fest, if you will. Bobby, welcome to the show. Thinking of pulling the trigger and buying one of those Roboskulls this week. Do a fantastic toy. I don't care if you're a 118 or a 112 collector. Either way, it is a fantastic toy. Just amazing what they've done with it. And their customer service is just amazing, just in general. I support them. Clearly. Skeletron, USA 250. One of their brand new t shirts just released. Great toy company, and I like to see that they're picking up pace on new release figures and stuff. Um, I'm currently collecting both of the 118 modern and the 112. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right. So this week we're going to be certainly talk about some toy news that came out of Joe Fest, mostly non-Joe related, or really all non-Joe related. And then I'm going to talk about my top 5 year to date 2026 toys. I love that Toy does accommodate both 118 and 112. Hell yeah, man! That seat just popping in and out like that and totally changing the vehicle is so awesome. I really wish they would have done something like that with the hiss and the HasLab. My understanding is it was planned and got costed out, but there is a conversion, a non-permanent conversion for the classified hiss using the seat from a Whiplash, Fortnite Whiplash, 118 Whiplash, that it literally just pops right in and seats two in the cabin, and then of course whatnot. But yeah, it's pretty cool. There's some videos out there about that conversion, and the cool thing about that one is it's non-permanent. Best thing. Decide later you want to go back to 112, just pop the seat out, and there you go. All right, let's talk a little bit about the slides here. So again, we're going to talk about my top 5 of the first half of 2026 in the back part of the show. But first, let's get into some news. Some of my favorite toy companies had some pretty big either offerings and or announcements coming out of Joe Fest. Pretty excited to show them off. First, Harvinger Studios, or Savage Crucible brand. Of course, we talked just before Joe Fest that we knew it was the Dravarthi Sentinel. Had no idea what it looked like until we got there. There was a reserve limit of 2, and I was like, well, no, I'll reserve 2, and then if I don't like it, I'll only, not get any or just one. That's how their reserve system works. It doesn't cost you anything up front. You're really just holding a spot in line for a figure. Got there, saw it, definitely had to get 2. Wasn't convinced I was going to keep 2. Like I figured somebody in the toy community that I talk with would not be at Joe Fest, would want one. But after I got one out of the box and realized all the different ways to load them out, I went ahead and decided to keep both. So you can see here in my photo, I've got one with the helmet and the pauldrons and kind of more of a gladiator look, and then the second one I kind of stripped down to just the savage, no weapons, just brutal blood look. Lore on these guys is really cool. Uh, they're a new faction, if you will, the Dravarthi. They live on a volcanic island, being hunted by essentially bug people that use their heat signature to track them. So they cover themselves in ash from the volcano to mask their heat, and then blood for the ancestors. So pretty cool little lore for a new character. Can't wait to see what else they drop. So these seem to sell pretty well. They weren't fully reserved at the at Joe Fest because by Sunday they were selling. Hey Nate, welcome to the show, my friend. By Saturday, maybe late Saturday, or definitely by Sunday, they were just letting people buy them. My son actually picked up two of them on Saturday evening, I believe it was, without a reservation, and he loves them as well. So, Varthi Sentinel, Savage Crucible, fantastic. I look forward to seeing what their next con first is. I know that Titan Toy Expo in October has one. I already got that pre-bought with my VIP ticket. Both that and Valaverse have had an offering for that. And then I think there's another one for both of those companies at Toy Unity in October or November, whenever that is. I'm not going to that one. And then there's one overseas show. It's WonderCon, but it's a overseas version of it that'll have one as well. So it'd be cool to see what else is coming. Also related to Savage Crucible, 3 new figures went up for pre-order on BBTS today. I didn't capture pictures of it because I already had the slides loaded up, but it's essentially the next wave. It's the Snake Man, the Medusa Man, and the next Frazetta figure, which is Kubla Khan. All three of those look pretty good. We'll talk about those next week when we talk about Savage Crucible news. Jumping forward, Big Bad Workshop had some pretty cool news this Joe Fest, and that was the launch of the Larry Hama Fury Force line. Fury Force was Larry Hama's original concept that he pitched to Marvel back roughly around 1980 for a Nick Fury led army team, military team. And they passed on the idea at the time, and they were going to be fighting Hydra. And they passed on the idea at the time, but then a couple years later, when Hasbro came a knocking, they tapped Larry Hama to write the G.I. Joe comic, so he just knocked off the dust on Fury Force and gave us G.I. Joe. And if we look at these figures, there's quite a bit of tell on that as you think about what we got in the OG 13, right? Like Jelly, there's a whole lot of similarity there between him and Stalker. Top Kicks, the first sergeant. We didn't really have first sergeant in OG 13. I mean, Stalker was our original field commander with the officer of Colonel Hawk. So I'm not sure what Top Kick would have been turned into. Umbra, intelligence officer, and it's clearly Scarlet. She became Scarlet. We got this commando here that, again, not totally sure. He's got some radio stuff, so maybe he kind of got retrofitted to become Breaker. Hogman, heavy, clearly rock and roll, right? He just got hair and a beard. Louie, I to me that's got Tommy Arashikage written all over it. I pretty excited to get that figure, regardless of what you're going to use it for. But that looks like Tommy to me. And then probably the most famous of the Fury Force is Revenant. However, his original concept name was Spook back in the day, and he's been, of course, got turned into Snake Eyes when OG13 dropped. So looking super forward to this 7-figure wave. We'll be pre-ordering that as soon as it drops. There's also a Larry Hama figure, not really part of Fury Force, just a tribute figure in a 6-inch scale that looks pretty fun. Interesting enough, I didn't even connect this until this past weekend at Joe Fest, but I'm gonna say probably about 5 years ago, there was a Kickstarter for a 4-inch modern construction Larry Hama action figure. And if you guys backed it, or if you recall, it literally took so long to get it that I forgot that I had backed it. And I come to find out that it was actually Fresh Monkey Fiction that did that 4-inch figure as well, 5-ish years ago. So thought it was interesting. Didn't realize how much history there was connected to Larry Hama and Fresh Monkey Fiction. So I thought that was cool. And then of course they also put our man Larry to work on when they did Bulletproof and the Cops and Crooks modern take from Big Bad Workshop as well. Hopefully we get some more figures there. We know we at least got a villain coming, and I believe one more hero has been quasi announced. I don't recall the details. Not really a big Cops and Crooks fan, but I am definitely a Bulletproof fan. He is sitting right there on the shelf with his black Rumbler that I use as a SWAT vehicle with the Joe classified police officers. So that's our news for Fury Force. Again, super excited. Not sure when the pre-orders will drop, but I'm sure BBTS will tell us as soon as they do. A little bit of Ramen Toy news coming out of Joe Fest. This is interesting. I just want to tell a little before I go into the news on this one. So an interesting little story that I'm dealing with right now with Ramen Toy. I don't know that it's good news, bad news, or whatnot. It's just interesting. I ordered probably about 3 months ago. I ordered a Super Musk, the the 2-layer playset, sewer, layer one sewer, layer two is the street scene, and the super meaning it's got 4 pieces, right? It's got 2 sewer pieces and 2 street pieces. Um, of course, they ship from overseas. They ship from China, so it hits the water. You gotta wait. Uh, 2 variations of him, basically just wearing 2 different style shirts. Yep. Um, they ship by water. It takes 6 to 8 weeks to get here, and then of course you got to wait for FedEx or whatever to get to you. So it's a relatively long wait for the shipping. Waited roughly 2 months for it to arrive. I got one box, one of 2 boxes. I had a tracking number for the second box, and it had never arrived. So I'm sitting here with half a playset that I can't really do anything with. So I've messaged Ramen's customer service. The order number said, "Hey, I think the second box is stuck or lost or something. I don't know what's going on with it." And they responded reasonably quick. Obviously, the different time zone, they responded reasonably quick. Told me to give them about a week to try to figure out like what was going on with it. Got right back with me about 5 days later and said they couldn't find it, but they would like a few more days to try. So I was like, sure. And then they did come back and say that unfortunately they're going to have to give a refund because that is a sold out product and that package was lost. So I'm kind of going through the refund process right now with them, but I just certainly not the way I would have liked it to have ended. I would have liked to have gotten the second box, but they were very responsive. They tried to make it right and they couldn't, so they're processing a refund. So good experience, and not the experience I wanted, but it's still a good experience overall. So kudos to Ramen. They could have told me to pack sand. They shipped it. But anyway, so let's talk about toys. I mean, there was a lot of stuff on their table. The second version of the Hunter and camo and which mine will show up on Friday, by the way. Interesting. Another interesting experience that I already talked about a few episodes ago. But we do have three new versions of the RAV. This is the V2 version with the removable roof and the lower seats. Of course, we have a more military version of it. We have the Cowabunga version of it, and then the news van version. All three are pretty fun. Not for me. I don't really need either one of those. But however, it did motivate me to buy. Uh, yeah, amen, man. Just some good old boys. It did motivate me to buy a bunch of gridiron attachments, and I'm going to be customizing my Rav Van V1 that I had already turned into a cold slither, but I'm going to be adding some heavy artillery to it and making it a mean little bitch. So look forward to sharing pics of that here in the next couple weeks. Um, the V2 Chevelle, couple things here on this one. Not sure what'll make it to final because I was pretty sure that this was just a test shot, but this was considerably more glossy than the original. The original was a matte finish, where this is a gloss finish, very high gloss too. For the pictures don't do it justice here. This thing was super shiny. The other thing that I thought was very interesting is in the first version, the flag was a sticker, and in the second version, the flag is Tampo. So I don't, obviously don't know the reasoning for that or whatnot, but Tampo is always going to be better than a sticker, so at least the V2 has an upgrade. But the best upgrade about V2 is the good old boys. We got the Luke cousins, and then old Daisy. I didn't put the picture in here because I didn't want anybody to think I'm a perv, but I will absolutely tell you that I turned Daisy around and she has the appropriate amount of cake. It is not modern day cake, it is 70s cake and 80s cake as it should be. So, pretty excited to see those coming. Unfortunately, the blast effect for the Hunter was sold out by the time I got to it. And it is available on a ramen website for 30 bucks, but I am not spending $20 to ship a $30 item. So unless any of you guys want to pull together with me and we'll all order some blast effects or we all place an order and then we can ship it to each other domestic, let me know because I really want that blast effect for the Hunter. Oh man. Hell yeah. All right. So next up, Skeletron. So we did get customer applying a sticker. It's a good point. Good point. Good point. So on the Skeletron side, we did get a new 6-inch figure, kind of a ghost drop. They announced it about 2 days in advance that we were getting a 6-inch Assault Trooper. Fantastic figure. We did get a 4-inch Assault Trooper, 4-inch Modern Construction Assault Trooper at Toylanta back in April. It is literally the same figure, same gear. The 6 inches just got a lot more paint apps, but everything else about it is awesome. Both of them are amazing figures. If you haven't bought any of the Skeletron stuff, I highly recommend it. Um, Great stuff. It is different than the Crimson Moon stuff. I did put a review out on this figure when I got back from Joe Fest. The it's definitely more of a modern military or a sci-fi take on an assault trooper versus Crimson Moons is a little bit more vintage looking or feeling, but they're very different color reds. So if you've got OCD about colors matching on similar figures and stuff like that, the Assault Trooper or the Red Shadow Skeletron stuff and the Crimson Moon stuff are not going to go well together on the shelf. I've only opened one of mine, but so far it's great. Hell yeah, man. So I got three of the Wolf Troopers because I got the pilot pack when it came out last year, and I wanted to be able to use all of the heads from that. Honestly, though, I could use one more to fully display all the stuff that came in that pilot pack. The best thing about that, of course, was Red Weasel. from Red Shadows, and then I got two on this one to use the assault rifle loadout and one to use the rocket launcher loadout. The other cool thing that really came out of this was the Saturday reveal of Siberia, the first female character in Red Shadows. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to get two of this one also because that one on the left looks an awful lot like Chameleon to me from Energon Universe, and I am okay with that. So we will looking forward to that. It should be late this year that this one gets released. They also have, don't forget, they also have the actual 6-inch Skeletron figure up for pre-order right now. Bobby reminded me of that last night, so I was able to get my pre-order in on that. Don't want to miss that because I saw that prototype at Toylanta, and wow, they have done a really cool. I mean, for such a basic 4-inch vintage figure, what they did with the 6-inch modern Skeletron was just incredible. Probably going to pass on the 4-inch though, because I can just see it being incredibly fragile with all the detail and stuff in it. Jump forward. All right, we are down to my top 5 figures of, not necessarily figures, could be vehicles. I will tell you in advance it's not. It's all 5 figures. For the first half of 2026. And without further ado, number 5, Chuckles from the Super 7 Reaction Plus. There's a lot of these figures in the Reaction Plus line have been fun, but not incredibly unique, or maybe not. There's not been too many of them that have really stood out from the rest. But Chuckles is definitely one of them that did. I love the fact that he's got the floating um, overlay for the pistol, and with the pistol comes out and stuff. It's just a great looking figure, and of course, he's got the white shirt instead of the blue. So this figure was a lot of fun. Super excited to get him. I have messed around with him in a number of different times. For clarity, the picture on the left is stock photo from Super 7. The picture on the right is my photo from one of my 118 displays. That is almost gone as I continue my 118 purge, my O-ring purge. However, I am keeping my Reaction Plus stuff. They're expensive, but to me they're kind of throwaway. They're not really there to collect. They're just for me to beat around and play with. And then when my great nephew gets another couple years old, I'm just going to hand him a bucket full of O-rings and tell him to have at it and have fun. By then there'll probably be a good number of them to have a good little army to play with. Guy at Skeletron Booth said Siberia won't be a Kickstarter, normal pre-order. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. That I mean, I get why they raised capital at get-go, but they've been relatively successful at this point. So I was hoping that they would move away from that model. It's good stuff. All right, number 4. I don't remember who my number 4 is. I remember the 5 figures. I just don't remember what order I placed them in. Number 4, Balrog from Jada Street Fighter 2 line. Man, and I'm gonna tell you, Nate, you sold me on this one, man, because when I first got it, this was one of my favorite characters from the original from the video game. I was super excited to get it, and then I got it and I wasn't. It just didn't feel as smooth and good as the other figures that I had from earlier in the wave. Really, the Bison, right? I mean, that figure is just damn near perfect. From if I'd have been doing this in 25, he would definitely be on the list. But I just wasn't happy with it. And listening to you talk about him, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep messing with him, and maybe he'll grow on me. And what I really found was my joints were just super tight. And the more I played around with him, the more smooth they got. They didn't get loose; they just got smooth like they were supposed to. And now yeah, and now he is definitely in my top 5. I've had a lot of fun messing around with him when I'm sitting on the couch just watching in my office, just watching streamers or shows or whatever the case may be. I'll often reach over and pick him up and just mess around and pose him and play around with him. Again, picture on the left, stock photo from Jada. Picture on the right is one of mine with Balrog beating the shit out of Big Boa. Love that picture. That was a lot of fun to put that together. All right. Moving right along to number 3. Balrog looks cool. That SF line is fun. Yes, sir. I'm kind of depressed that it's almost over. Like I only bought the Shadowloo figures and Akuma. I was only interested in the villains. I definitely could have seen myself going all in on it, but now that I've got all of the villains and they've only got, I guess T-Hawk's the only one left to release from the new challengers. They're done. So I don't, other than player 2 stuff, and I would love to get more, but I think, but they are about to start releasing. I think in July we'll get the first figure, or maybe it's just a pre-order for the first wave of their Invincible figures. So I am looking forward to switching to a new Jada line. Oh, I thought Zangief was already out, Nate. Maybe it's just a lot of promo images lately, but yeah, I thought he had already dropped. All right, number 3, King Grayskull from the new Masters of the Universe Chronicles line. I am really not a Masters of the Universe fan. I of course watched the cartoon when I was a kid or whatnot, and I will honestly say that the illness got me on this one. Like there wasn't a whole lot going on, there wasn't a whole lot coming out, and here came this shiny new toy line, and hearing Michael talk about it all the time, I was like, yeah, I guess I'll give it a shot. So I picked this one up, and I gotta say, man, Michael actually ordered this one for me because it was Mattel Creations. I loved it as soon as I got it. Right around that same time, I landed the Scare Glow that was I think it was a Walmart exclusive. That was where I found it anyway. I was able to get a couple of those for folks and kind of share them out. These two figures have been a lot of fun. I had zero interest in the MC or in the movie figures. I know they sold very well. I did pick up the Battle Cat just because it doesn't necessarily look like a movie Battle Cat. It's just a Battle Cat. So King Grayskull is on that. But yeah, this line's been a lot of fun. I know Orko in the non-movie Chronicles line has been announced for MTO. Kind of an interesting make to order, but he actually has little LED eyes that are pretty neat. But it'll be interesting to see what else they come out in this line, and if it picks up and builds steam. I'm also all in on pre-orders for the Mondo 112 Masters of the Universe stuff. Um, Don't know how it's gonna. Well, I got He-Man's on the way. He should be here Monday. I don't. We'll see how it goes. Again, I don't really have a nostalgia for it, so I'm just looking for a good figure, and I think Mondo has always made good stuff. So we'll see how their 112 is, and if I like it, I'll keep going. If I don't, well, there's always eBay, and we'll see how that goes. Jada also rocking a Cyberpunk line. Pick them up to go with Synapse. Yeah, I think those are a little more expensive though, aren't they? They are. I love that game and I love that show, but I thought those figures were more expensive. Are they the same price point as the Street Fighter stuff, Nate? Let's see what he says here. While waiting on his answer, we are going to jump forward to number 2, Malice from the Valaverse Action Force line, the newest addition to the Garrison Troopers. Man, this figure is so good. It's got the newer construction that started in Wave 5. We're in Wave 6, but they were deluxe prices on the Cyberpunk stuff. All right, well that's not too bad then. Because I think they came with soft goods and stuff too. So maybe I'll check those out. Maybe I'd love to see an Atom Smasher get released. So this guy, I mean, this talking about deluxe. This guy's a deluxe guy. He comes with the rocket launcher, the backpack, multiple handguns, the helmet, multiple hair pieces. I mean, he is definitely a a full box figure. The head sculpt is amazing detail on it. Again, left images are stock photos from Valaverse. The right one's just me kind of messing around with the Garrison. Uh, can you hear me now? There we go. I got green lights again anyway. Not sure what happened there, but I will restate what I said for Malice. Um, Fantastic. This is the newest, one of the newest Action Force. He's a deluxe. Awesome. Thanks, Nate. He's a deluxe. I am muted. Oh, I was. Okay. All right. All right. The yeah, I'm back now. Okay. So this fella again comes with the rocket launcher, the backpack. He's got four guns total, two that are kind of open, empty appearance, and then two that are locked and loaded. They come with little drum magazines for him. He's got multiple hair sculpts. He's got the helmet. Like this box was packed for a deluxe figure. And the head sculpt detail is just incredible. Can't really see it in this picture. I should have got a zoom in picture, but man, he's a lot of fun. There's a little bit of recency bias here, to be honest. He's still sitting right beside me on the desk with the rest of the garrison, but man, he is a lot of fun to mess around with and play with. So I did get, and he motivated me. I think I said this while the audio was messed up, but I he did motivate me to go track down a Garrison Cavalry V1, which I haven't opened yet, but he is in the he is here. He has arrived, so that will complete the current team for the Garrison. I'm looking forward to additional figures coming out. It's a lot of fun, kind of that modern military or near future military with a little bit of the medieval look mixed in with it. It's good stuff, fun. And number one, everybody's going to say there's recency bias here, but I'm telling you guys, this Elric of Melniboné figure is fantastic. I am a huge Savage Crucible fan. I just started collecting the line about 3 months ago. I've already gotten all of them. I mean, they sucked me in quick. They're such good figures. But this particular one is the first knight in the line. It is there. I don't know if you guys had any Mythic Legions figures or not, but the Mythic Legion figures, they're not known for articulation, right? They're known for their paint apps and their aesthetic. But if you have a figure from Mythic Legions that has a lot of armor on it, it looks phenomenal, but there's very little posability with it. It just doesn't move, and even what posability it does is hampered by the armor. With this figure, they have managed to keep all of the standard articulation that they have in like one of the human figures that have no armor on, just their skin, like a barbarian type. You still have all of that amazing articulation and all of the armor on top of it. Like I mean, they just really knocked it out of the park on this figure. The fact that it's Elric of Melniboné, that's a totally different plus. Just this knighted figure is great. And I'm gonna tell you, if I'd have known in advance how good it was gonna be, I probably would have ordered three of them. One to have his Elric and two to just have his knights, because he also does come with a alt head that is just a Black Knight, armored Black Knight head. Fantastic figure. Can't say enough about it. Unfortunately, right, you can't get him now without paying the late tax, and that late tax is roughly $200 on eBay. There's several listed, but they're all around 200. I've seen him for as much as 400. But here's the deal with this. I'm not a shill for any company. I only buy what I like. In this case, I like everything I've gotten from Savage Crucible so far. But there are other figures coming that I'm not buying because I don't like them, which is the Pranoids. But here's what I'm going to say about this figure. Is it low stock or hard to get today? Yes. But this figure was literally available for pre-order for over a year. They had it for several months on pre-order at Savage Crucible's website. And then when it came off of pre-order there, all of the retailer partners, Nerdzoic, BBTS, etc., all had it for pre-order right up until it shipped. Almost a full year this thing was available to pre-order between either Savage Crucible or retail partners, and nobody got excited about it until streamers started getting it and started talking about figure of the year because how good it is. So FOMO is definitely kicking people's ass right now in this figure. So it is what it is. I did not pre-order mine. I got mine in the Friday night in stock sale. I knew it was coming. They told us what time it was coming. I knew when it was coming. I set an alarm. I logged in 2 minutes early and I started hitting refresh. I dropped it in the cart and I got out. The I know not everybody wanted one, got one, and that sucks. But lesson learned. Almost a bitch. I'll sell mine for 500, 400, 500 if somebody wants it. I like it, but I don't like it that much. I like money more. um, but here's what I'll also say though. Rob Post has been on the owner of Harvinger Studios, released the company that releases Savage Crucible. He has been very clear they do not do re-releases, so there will not be a re-release of this figure. But he has heavily hinted that there will be additional versions of Elric, and he has specifically said that they are contractually bound to release at least 3 Eternal Champions from the Michael Moorcock multiverse. So this is number one. I can't believe that one of the other ones will not be some variation of this of Elric of Manibene. And that's all I got, guys. We talked about the news that came out of Joe Fest. We talked about my top 5 figures for the first half of 2026. Had a lot of fun. Got some viewers. I appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. Like, comment, subscribe. And we will be back every Wednesday for Toy Time, where we talk about recent pickups and news. We talk about thanks Nate, appreciate that, buddy. And then this coming Friday, not quite as regular, but this coming Friday, me and the gang will be talking on the Geek Room podcast on Friday evening at 8 p.m. Central Time about just recapping all of our experiences at Joe Fest. Fantastic to see so many of the group there. Always fun to see everybody. Really look forward to talking about that on Friday night with the gang. And then I'm sure over the next couple of days I will do a couple more live reviews. I got I got the Mondo 112 He-Man coming. I got a couple of shipping notices today for pre-orders that had been a while. And then I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this one yet, but I also just got in the Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan the Barbarian Mezco. It's a great figure. I don't think I'm going to do a review or anything of it, but it's given me some ideas on some other things that I may uh, may do with some of my Mezco stuff. That collection's getting bigger than I thought. And thank you, Curtis. I appreciate it, bud. And we'll see you guys on Friday night. And everybody, thanks for coming.